Chosen one. Signs God is removing a J person from your circle. Listen closely, because what I am about to reveal is not small, and if you ignore this moment, you may miss a protection I have placed around you that could change the course of your life. I am speaking to you as your father, and I am showing you that when I begin to remove a J person from your circle, it is not punishment, but protection, not loss, but rescue, not rejection, but redirection toward a greater blessing. This is the hour where you must pay attention, because the shift you are feeling is me clearing space for peace, for growth, for answered prayer that cannot arrive while certain hands still cling to you. If you believe I am guiding you right now, comment Amen. When I say I am removing a J person, I am telling you that there is someone whose name begins with that letter who has been connected to you, and that connection has quietly drained your joy, slowed your obedience, or stirred confusion in your spirit. You have sensed tension, subtle dishonor, or a pattern of instability, and you wondered why things felt heavy whenever they were near. That heaviness is not your imagination. It is my spirit alerting you that I am separating you from what cannot go where I am taking you. You are chosen, and because you are chosen, not everyone assigned to your past is permitted in your future. I see what you do not see, and I hear what is said behind closed doors. I know the motives, the jealousy, the hidden competition, and the subtle resistance to your growth. I am stepping in now because your next season requires clarity, strength, and trust that cannot survive in an atmosphere of hidden opposition. Within the next stretch of time, you may notice distance forming without your effort. Conversations may become shorter, invitations may fade, plans may fall through. This is not chaos. This is me untangling you gently so you do not break when I lift you higher. Before you go further, I ask you with urgency in my heart to like the video, because someone else who feels confused about a relationship needs to hear this and receive the protection I am offering through these words. I am not removing this person to harm you. I am removing them to heal you. The attachment may have felt familiar, even comforting at times, but familiarity is not always destiny. Some people are assignments for a chapter, not companions for a lifetime. And when their assignment is complete, I begin to close the door. You may feel sadness, even guilt, as the separation unfolds. That is natural, because you care deeply and you try to hold things together. But understand this clearly: you are not responsible for carrying relationships I have chosen to release. When I remove someone, I do it with full knowledge of what is ahead, and I do it because your calling is too precious to be entangled. Another sign you will notice is increased clarity in your thoughts. The confusion that once clouded your decisions will begin to lift. You will start to see patterns you ignored before. Words that once seemed harmless will now reveal their sharp edges. That is me opening your eyes. There will also be an increase in your peace, even if the separation feels uncomfortable at first. Peace is my confirmation. When something leaves your life and peace grows instead of shrinks, that is evidence that my hand is in the transition. I do not tear away without replacing. You might also observe resistance from the J person as distance grows. They may try to reinsert themselves with sudden kindness or unexpected urgency. Do not be fooled by temporary change if the deeper pattern remains the same. True transformation is consistent, not convenient. Comment 1212 if you believe I am working behind the scenes for your good. I am protecting your heart from subtle erosion. Small criticisms, quiet discouragement, and backhanded support may seem minor, but over time they weaken your confidence. I created you with purpose, and I will not allow prolonged exposure to what chips away at that purpose. I am guarding your mind, your calling, and your emotional strength. You have prayed for elevation, for breakthrough, for open doors. But elevation requires alignment. Breakthrough requires room. Open doors require you to release the grip on what blocks the entrance. I cannot pour fresh oil into hands still clutching expired ties. As I remove this person, I am also strengthening you. You are learning discernment. You are learning to trust my whispers over your fears of being alone. You are discovering that obedience sometimes feels like loss before it reveals itself as freedom. Do not chase what I am moving away from you. Do not force conversations I am allowing to fade. If the bond weakens despite your kindness and sincerity, that is your sign to rest and let me complete the separation. I close doors with intention, not impulse. Remember, I am not isolating you. I am refining your circle. The right people will not compete with your light. They will celebrate it. They will not feel threatened by your growth. They will support your obedience to me rather than distract you from it. You are not losing a connection. You are gaining clarity. You are not being abandoned. You are being repositioned. And as this J person exits your daily influence, you will begin to notice new strength rising inside you. You may recall moments when your spirit felt uneasy after certain conversations. There were subtle remarks that lingered in your thoughts longer than they should have. There were times you felt judged instead of supported, compared instead of celebrated. Those were not random feelings. That was my spirit, gently warning you that something in the connection was misaligned. I am teaching you that love does not require you to endure quiet disrespect. Loyalty does not mean tolerating patterns that wound your spirit. Kindness does not mean allowing someone unlimited access to your peace. I am redefining what healthy connection looks like in your life. You will notice that as distance grows, your focus becomes sharper. Goals you postponed will begin to stir again in your heart. Dreams that felt unrealistic will start to seem possible. That is because distraction is losing its grip on you. Why is the government trying so hard to hide this 7-second brain ritual? A major CIA leak has exposed a short brain practice that is helping ordinary people clear debt and welcome wealth. Supported by 4 neuroscience labs, this simple home method is turning financial struggles into better lives. New homes, vehicles, and vacations are becoming possible. But this secret could be pulled down at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. The J person may not even realize why the bond feels different. They may sense the shift but not understand its source. That is because the change did not originate in you alone. It began with me. I am the one who gently loosens ties when they threaten to entangle your calling. I am the one who interrupts patterns that could slowly damage your confidence. I am the one who steps between you and what could limit your growth. You are not imagining this transition. You are living in the middle of my protection. There may be moments when memories try to pull you backward. You will remember laughter, shared history, and familiar comfort. I am not denying those moments existed. I am simply telling you that history does not always equal destiny. What once felt necessary may now feel heavy. What once felt exciting may now feel draining. That shift in feeling is not confusion. It is clarity unfolding. I am refining your discernment so that in the future you will recognize early signs instead of enduring prolonged strain. This lesson is shaping you into someone who listens quickly and acts wisely. You are becoming spiritually mature through this experience. Comment 777. As I remove this person, I am also removing certain influences that came with them. Some conversations carried subtle negativity that quietly shaped your thinking. Some attitudes influenced how you saw yourself. With distance, those influences begin to fade. You will feel lighter in ways you cannot immediately explain. Your sleep may improve. Your thoughts may feel less crowded. Your prayers may feel more focused and confident. That is because I am creating emotional space for my peace to settle more deeply within you. Peace is not just the absence of conflict. It is the presence of my steady assurance guiding your steps. You may worry about how others perceive this separation. You may fear being misunderstood or labeled as distant. Release that concern into my hands. I know your heart, and I know the truth of what you have endured. You are not responsible for managing every narrative about your life. You are responsible for obedience. When I move you, it is for your good, even if others do not immediately understand. There will also be a strengthening of your inner confidence. You will begin to trust your instincts more. You will speak more clearly and hesitate less when something feels wrong. That is growth. That is maturity. That is the result of walking closely with me through difficult transitions. I am not teaching you to cut people off impulsively. I am teaching you to recognize when I am doing the cutting for you. There is a difference between anger-driven separation and spirit-led release. You will notice that the urge to chase fades. The need to explain yourself repeatedly weakens. The compulsion to fix what I am dissolving slowly disappears. This is freedom unfolding. It may feel unfamiliar at first, but it is holy. I am showing you that you can care about someone and still accept when their role in your life has changed. As this J person moves further from your inner circle, watch how new opportunities quietly begin to appear. Conversations with others may feel more aligned. You may encounter people who encourage rather than compete. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. I do not remove without replacing. The replacement may not look dramatic at first. It may come as calm friendships, supportive mentors, or peaceful solitude that strengthens your focus. What I give you in exchange will nourish rather than drain. You are not being stripped of connection. You are being upgraded in connection. I am adjusting your environment to match the level I am raising you to. There is also a spiritual layer to this separation that you must understand. Some people cannot walk with you into deeper obedience because their comfort depends on your stagnation. When you grow, it unsettles them. Growth reveals differences that once seemed small. Obedience exposes values that no longer align. I am protecting you from the subtle pressure to shrink yourself just to maintain approval. You were never meant to minimize your light to make others comfortable. You were never called to silence your conviction to avoid tension. I designed you to shine boldly, and I will not allow anyone to dim that light long term. As distance increases, resist the temptation to doubt my guidance. Doubt often surfaces when familiarity fades. But remember, I see the whole picture. I know conversations you were not part of. I know intentions you could not detect. I know future crossroads you have not yet reached. Trust that I am moving with precision. Nothing about this separation is random. It is strategic. You may feel a brief loneliness as old routines shift. That loneliness is temporary. I am closer to you in this season than you realize. Lean into me instead of leaning backward into what I am removing. Spend time in prayer. Spend time reflecting on what you have learned. You will see how much stronger you have become. You will notice how much more peaceful your spirit feels. You will recognize that what once seemed essential was actually limiting. This is how I elevate you. I refine your circle before I expand your influence. I clear your space before I increase your responsibility. Do not interpret this as loss, interpret it as preparation. I am preparing you for relationships built on honor, trust, and shared faith. I am preparing you for connections that celebrate your obedience instead of questioning it. I am preparing you for partnerships that strengthen your calling rather than compete with it. This season is not about conflict. It is about clarity. It is not about drama. It is about direction. Let the distance happen naturally. Let conversations reduce without forcing explanation. Let the bond loosen without panic. Do you know why everyone is talking about this 7-second CIA ritual? A brainwave technique leaked from the CIA is changing lives around the world. Backed by neuroscience, this 7-second method helps regular people attract money, freedom, and luxury. If you are seeing this, you are very lucky because the page may vanish soon. Click the link in the description and comments to learn the secret before it is deleted. You are not abandoning anyone, you are following my lead. And when you follow me, even difficult transitions carry hidden blessing. There will come a moment when you look back and realize that this removal saved you from deeper pain. You will see what could have unfolded if the bond had continued unchanged. You will thank me for stepping in when you were too attached to step away yourself. Your trust in me will deepen because of this. Your confidence will strengthen because you obeyed when it was uncomfortable. Your peace will expand because you chose alignment over attachment. Comment 333. I am guarding your destiny. I am protecting your heart. I am refining your path so that what remains around you supports your growth instead of resisting it. Hold steady through this transition. Do not rush to replace what I am removing. Allow me to complete the work fully. You are chosen, and because you are chosen, I intervene when something threatens your future. I am not distant in this process. I am actively involved, carefully guiding each step. I am showing you what it feels like to exist without walking on invisible eggshells. You did not always realize how cautious you had become. You filtered your joy. You measured your excitement. You softened your achievements so they would not feel threatened. I am restoring your full expression. The removal of this J person is not only about distance, it is about identity. I am bringing you back to who you are without the pressure to adjust for someone else's insecurity. There were times when their presence subtly shaped your decisions. You hesitated before taking bold steps because you anticipated their reaction. You downplayed dreams because you expected skepticism. You delayed movement because you feared criticism. I am breaking that cycle. You will also see how your prayers become more confident. You will stop asking me to fix what I have already decided to remove. Instead, you will begin asking me to strengthen you for what is ahead. That is growth. That is trust maturing. I know there were moments when you defended them in your own mind. You justified patterns. You minimized red flags. You convinced yourself that things would improve if you tried harder. But relationships are not sustained by one person carrying all the weight. I never designed you to hold what both sides should support. As the connection fades, you will feel less drained at the end of your day. Your energy will stretch further. Your focus will sharpen. This is what happens when I remove subtle emotional strain from your environment. There may also be a moment when the J person questions the distance. They may sense that something has shifted and try to reignite closeness. Be wise. Kindness does not require reattachment. I am teaching you discernment without bitterness. You do not need anger to walk away from what I am removing. You need clarity and obedience. Clarity allows you to see. Obedience allows you to move. You are not rejecting them, you are responding to me. That distinction matters. I am also healing parts of your heart that tolerated less than you deserved. You accepted half support, inconsistent loyalty, and unpredictable energy because you believed that was normal. I am redefining normal for you. Normal will now mean steady peace. Normal will mean mutual honor. Normal will mean encouragement that feels sincere and consistent. As you step further into this season, watch how your confidence grows quietly. You will speak your plans without fear. You will share your growth without shrinking. You will celebrate your progress without apology. That is because I am anchoring you in your identity, not in someone else's approval. There is another sign unfolding that you must recognize. You will begin to feel gratitude for the separation instead of resentment. Gratitude is evidence that you see my hand in the process. You will understand that what felt painful at first was actually protective. You will see that what seemed like loss was actually preservation. You will recognize that I was shielding you from future complications that could have been deeper and more damaging. Comment 555. I am also adjusting your spiritual sensitivity. You will notice that your intuition sharpens. When something feels misaligned in the future, you will respond sooner. You will not ignore warning signs as long as you once did. This experience is increasing your awareness. I refine you through real situations, not theory. What you are learning now will protect you later. Do not assume that this J person is evil or beyond redemption. That is not the point. The point is alignment. Not every person who misaligns with you is malicious. Some are simply on a different path. Some are unwilling to grow at the pace you are growing. Some are comfortable in patterns you have outgrown. I am separating you not because they are worthless, but because your journey requires different support. Growth changes compatibility. Obedience changes dynamics. You will also feel a deep sense of relief in moments of quiet reflection. You will sit alone and realize your mind feels clearer. You will notice that your heart feels steadier. That relief is confirmation. Relief is one of my gentle signatures. When something leaves and relief follows, pay attention. You are stepping into a season where your circle must match your calling. Your future assignments will demand strength, courage, and focus. I cannot allow consistent distraction to remain attached to you. As you grow stronger, you will attract healthier connections. You will encounter people who respect your boundaries instead of testing them. You will meet individuals who speak life instead of subtle doubt. But do not rush this replacement. Allow me to orchestrate it. There is beauty in temporary solitude. There is growth in silence. There is strength built in seasons where you rely more on me than on constant companionship. I am deepening your relationship with me during this shift. When one voice becomes quieter, my voice becomes clearer. You will start to sense my guidance more directly. Decisions that once felt complicated will feel simple. Steps that once felt risky will feel peaceful. That is because you are no longer navigating through mixed signals. You are walking in alignment. What if a tiny 7-second brain ritual could erase your debt and open the door to real abundance? A leaked CIA document has revealed a simple 7-second method, now helping everyday people get out of debt and draw in wealth. Tested by 4 leading neuroscience labs, this easy home practice is turning money problems into better lifestyles. People are getting new homes, cars, and travel experiences. But this information could be removed at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. There is also a protective barrier forming around you. As this J person moves out of your inner circle, certain conflicts will naturally fade, certain misunderstandings will dissolve, certain patterns of tension will end without confrontation. I fight battles for you that you never even see. I redirect conversations, I block certain outcomes, I soften certain interactions. You may never know the full extent of what I prevented by removing this connection, but one day you will see enough to understand that my intervention was mercy. Do not grieve what I have already declared finished. Let your heart release with dignity. Let your steps move forward with confidence. You are not alone in this. I walk beside you through every adjustment. There will be moments when nostalgia tries to pull at you. Memories may surface unexpectedly. When they do, acknowledge them without surrendering to them. Memories are not instructions, they are reflections. Your future is not built on what was comfortable. It is built on what is aligned. As you move ahead, you will feel lighter in conversations with others. You will sense ease where there was once tension. You will recognize that your environment now supports your peace rather than challenges it. This is how elevation begins, quietly, subtly, intentionally. I am not just removing someone from your circle. I am upgrading your atmosphere. And when your atmosphere changes, your thoughts change, your expectations change, your confidence changes. You will look back and see that this shift marked the beginning of a stronger version of you. You will realize that obedience in this moment created space for blessing later. Trust me fully in this process. Even if you do not see the complete picture yet, know that I do. I am refining your circle because your calling is expanding. I am protecting your heart because your influence is growing. As you continue walking forward, you will begin to see that this separation was not only about protection from harm, but protection of your focus. There were subtle ways your attention was divided when this J person was close to you. Your mind often drifted toward managing their moods, anticipating their reactions, or repairing small tensions. That quiet mental burden reduced your capacity to fully pursue what I placed in your heart. Now that I am loosening that attachment, your focus is returning to you. You will wake up with clearer thoughts. You will notice that your plans feel more solid, less influenced by someone else's opinion. That clarity is my gift to you. You may also realize how often you sought validation from this connection. You hoped for consistent support, steady encouragement, or genuine excitement for your progress. When that support came in fragments, you adjusted your expectations instead of questioning the imbalance. I am teaching you not to build your confidence on inconsistent approval. Your worth does not rise or fall based on how one person responds to you. Your value is rooted in me. When I remove someone, it is never to diminish you. It is to remind you that your identity is not anchored in human affirmation. There is also a spiritual strengthening happening inside you. You are learning to trust what you sense without demanding constant proof. You are learning that when peace withdraws from a connection, it is not random, it is direction. You may notice that conversations now feel shorter and less emotionally charged. Where you once felt the need to explain yourself deeply, you now feel no urgency to defend your decisions. That calm detachment is growth, not coldness. I am shaping you into someone who does not chase closure where obedience has already spoken. Not every relationship requires a dramatic ending. Some simply fade because I have completed their purpose in your life. As this transition continues, watch how your emotional resilience increases. Situations that once would have shaken you will now feel manageable. That is because the draining influence is no longer pressing against your spirit daily. There is another sign unfolding that confirms, my hand is in this process. You will begin to feel a renewed excitement about your own future. Plans you delayed will now move forward without hesitation. Ideas that once felt risky will now feel necessary. Comment 999. I am reminding you that you were never meant to revolve around someone else's comfort. You were created to fulfill a calling that requires courage and clarity. If a connection consistently challenges your peace and shrinks your confidence, I will intervene. You may question whether you could have handled things differently. You may replay past conversations and wonder if you were too patient or not patient enough. Release that weight. Reflection is healthy, but self-blame is not. I do not expect perfection from you. I expect obedience. You followed the light I gave you at the time. Now I am giving you more light. As you step into this clearer season, you will also notice new forms of support appearing. They may not be loud or dramatic. They may come quietly through kind words, unexpected encouragement, or simple companionship that feels easy rather than complicated. This is how I restore balance. I do not leave you empty. I fill the space with peace and people who align with your growth. The J person may still exist in your wider world, but their influence over your inner world will weaken. That distinction is important. You can remain respectful without reopening access. I am teaching you that access is sacred. Not everyone deserves daily entry into your thoughts, your struggles, and your dreams. Your inner circle must be guarded carefully. You will also feel an increased awareness of your boundaries. Where you once tolerated small discomforts, you will now address them early. Where you once ignored subtle disrespect, you will now step back calmly. This is not arrogance, it is wisdom. Could a CIA-revealed brain ritual be the quickest